Hey everybody, welcome to American Courts. We got some good videos for you tonight. Thank you everybody for coming out. Happy birthday, Legal Fiction. Happy birthday. Hey, Roll on G. How are you doing tonight? It's good to see you, Siva Girl, and Throw the Goat, and Sean. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Linus, always thank you. You taught me some interesting information about the Dutch today. Thank you for that. Emily Smiles, it's good to see you. Good to see you every chance you get to come on by. We got some Judge Oakley. We got some Thurston County. We got an old favorite of mine from Judge Fleischer's. We're on a little bit of break from him. And we got Judge Rosie, and I got you another Judge Oakley, and then followed up with the craziness in Judge Simpson's court today. Some folks hadn't seen it yet, so it's worth it for them to see. And so, hey, Arizona Outdoors, lock them up. That's right. We're gonna go ahead and get started with Thurston County, and then we'll go from there. All right. Thanks everybody again for coming out.
Yes, Your Honor. This is Chase Brandon Stewart here in 3 cases: 22 CF 1397, 23 CF 754, and 23 CF 2380. Your Honor, I filed a motion. I think an order has been signed for a competency evaluation, so we're requesting continuance to get that done.
All right,
Objection. Your Honor, could we put this on
June 24th or something?
Oh, that's fine. June 24th?
Yeah,
That's fine.
June 24th, thank you. He can't address people in the audience.
I was his attorney, Your Honor, and I
Oh,
had a conference
I got
call.
you. Okay,
Got her paper right here.
all right, very good. Thank you, June 24th. Thank
June
you.
24th,
It's going to be a doctor to come talk to you before then, okay?
so no court dates before then.
We can bring you back sooner if we get it resolved or we get a report. Thank you.
Okay, was there an offer?
You'll have to talk to your attorney about that in private.
Okay, well, I need to figure out another, 'cause you look better than you did the other day, but there's, apologize for saying that in the courtroom, but
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take a compliment.
All right, Mr. Marshall, can you turn on your camera or your microphone, please?
Yes, it's on.
There we go. Thank you, sir. All right, so Mr. Marshall, the last we left your case, we had told you we were setting the case for trial, which has now been done. And you, I believe we're going to see what you could do about hiring an attorney.
Yeah, so I don't understand why I was denied a public defender when I lost my job in January 5th of this year, and I haven't had a job for a month and a half, almost 2 months now. So I just don't understand why I wasn't allowed to have a public defender, because I don't understand what's going on or the charges or anything like that. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I don't want to be screwed over and not know my rights.
Okay, I think there may be an explanation here. It looks like you requested the public defender back in November, and then that request was denied because of your income and resources. But then after that, you said you lost your job in January.
Yeah, January 5th.
Okay, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm looking at the court's record here, but I don't see that you had requested a public defender after you lost your job.
Well, the little breakout rooms or whatever, I can't remember his name that I talked to. He just instantly said that I wasn't allowed to have a public defender and it didn't dawn on me at that point in time that I couldn't have that. And then once the court was over, I started thinking about it, and I was like, why was I denied a public defender? I thought I had rights.
Yeah, I think the thing is the court didn't know that you wanted a public defender. We didn't have any updated information. So what you're telling me now is your financial circumstances changed since November. You lost your job and you haven't had a job since January, which sounds to me like it would make you eligible for a public defender. So are you getting any income from any other source, or are you just
I'm
living on?
I'm trying to do unemployment right now, but they're telling me it's gonna be like another 2-3 weeks before I even see anything.
So you haven't had any income coming in since January?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Mr. Marshall, I think that is safe to say that your circumstances have changed and you do qualify for a public defender, and I'll appoint one for you.
Okay. And how does that all work? Is he gonna get a hold of me?
Now, what I'll do, I'll give you some instructions here in a second.
Okay.
First of all, I'm going to give you a court date.
All right.
Do we have some room for a pretrial hearing before the April 17th confirmation date? Sometime next month. I'm trying to find a court date for you first.
Okay.
Okay. So your next court date will be March 20th at 8:30. That'll be a pretrial hearing.
March 20th, 8:30. Okay.
Yep. And now that you've been appointed to the public defender, you can reach out to their office and make an appointment. They'll assign a specific attorney to represent you. And they'll take it from there.
Your Honor, is the court finding good cause or?
Not yet. He is I've given him a pretrial date. He's got a confirmation coming up on April 17th. So we'll let his public defender decide whether to request a continuance or whether they're going to be ready to go. But you'll probably know that by March 20th, I imagine. Okay, and Mr. Marshall, do you know how to contact the Thurston County Public Defender's Office?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just Google Thurston County Public Defenders and it brings up a phone number.
Perfect. Yeah, that's one way to do it. It's like everything else.
Right?
Okay, yeah. All right, well, I think we got that straightened out for you, Mr. Marshall. Do you have any other questions for me?
So am I allowed to know what the charges are or what's going to happen?
Oh, yeah,
Or-
you should know. You were given those charges. You're charged with a one count of violating a protection order.
Okay.
And that is what you're going to be discussing with your public defender before you come back to court,
Okay.
how to address that charge.
Okay.
All right, just go ahead and reach out to them. Other than that, you're done here for today until March 20th.
Okay. When I call them, and they should know that you gave me permission, right?
Yeah, they're gonna know because we'll send the appointment to them, but you're also free to tell them you were,
Okay.
just in court and the court appointed the public defender for you.
And
All right. Sweet. Thank you, sir.
I'm adding that into our system right now.
Okay.
He's been appointed today.
Great. So yeah, the public defender in the courtroom today is making a note for the public defender's office, so everybody will know.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so you're good to go, Mr. Marshall.
All right. Sweet. Thank you, sir. You have a good day.
You too. And this is Mr. Haston.
Your Honor, my right to counsel has been denied, both court dates. The very first one, I had an attorney with me. Right now, I'm asking that this lady in the back be removed for making comments. She shouldn't be in here right now. She's irritating me worse. And not to mention, this is not what my wife wanted last time. She tried telling her that and they wouldn't listen to her. And me and my attorney we're having an issue here that doesn't seem like it's going to be resolved.
Well, I want you first of all to understand that nobody can be kicked out of the courtroom.
Okay.
Okay, that's not an option. The only time somebody can be removed from a courtroom is if they're disturbing the proceedings, and that's not happening here.
Okay.
So we'll move on to the second thing. And reading between the lines a little bit, it sounds like you and Mr. Kale may not be having a productive attorney-client relationship.
Well, Your Honor, meeting your attorney before a court date, that's a right to counsel that was denied to me last time. He ran up here this time after I was told to call him on the phone, which I just still don't feel is appropriate. That's not being allowed my due process, my right to counsel. And I really feel like that if 4 people or 3 people are going to take my wife into a little room over there and talk about some things that I'm not allowed to be aware of. And I'm sitting back here by myself, that this is an unfair situation, especially when I'm the person who called the police for the domestic violence that I'm in jail for, that I called against her. She was arrested 2
Slow
months
down.
before that
We'll
for
take it
domestic
a little-
violence
Take it
against
a little
me.
at a time. All right, first of all, Mr. Hastings, as far as whether the charges are appropriate, whether it's
They're
you
not.
know, a good or a bad decision to file charges against you, that does not belong to the court. That is the
Yes, Your Honor.
prosecuting attorney's decision,
Mhm.
not the court's. I can't review it or overturn it or anything like that. Okay, so they've made that decision based on what they think is the appropriate thing to do in your case. So we're all gonna live with that. But there are one or two things I can address. One of those is the right to counsel. You know, certainly, you were appointed an attorney. Mr. Kale's your assigned attorney. He does this kind of work at this court. He's one of the county's public defenders. And he represents all kinds of people, and I've seen him do that on a number of occasions. So typically, I would say that I've never seen him do anything I would consider not appropriate or, not up to standards. So it kind of surprises me a little bit to hear that, but that may just be a matter of perspective. So.
Well, Your Honor, I could be wrong, sir, excuse me. But don't I have a right to counsel?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, this right here, what happened last court date and what was beginning to happen this court date before he ran over here. That's not my right to counsel, Your Honor.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe not. I haven't heard, the situation fully yet, so I don't know, but we'll make sure your right to counsel is protected. We're not gonna allow.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go all the way to jury trial with this one because I'm not taking any deal at all.
Okay. Well, in your
I
case,
didn't do anything wrong, sir.
your case is set for trial already, right?
Let's do it. Yes.
You've got a trial date in place. Mr. Kale's been on your case now, I think, since I want to
About
say
10 minutes ago.
January. So I don't know. Well, let me hear from Mr. Kale and, I'll sort of put this together. I may have some questions for you.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Kale.
Yes, Your Honor. I admittedly had not spoken with Mr. Hastings before today. I missed him when I was going over the calendar and seeing who I had on the calendar today. I do feel like I would be able to take this case to trial by on the 29th and 30th, if that's what my client wants, and if that's how this case plays out. I think Mr. Hastings and I would be able to, outside of today, if we had a little bit more time, I think we would be able to hopefully communicate effectively. But I only have today to go off of, Your Honor, and Mr. Hastings feels like we have not been able to have productive communications, at least today. Then I would defer to the court on that, Your Honor.
All right, well, Mr. Hastings, I guess it doesn't sound, unreasonable to me that you'd be a little upset over something like that. I'm not going to criticize that. I will say, it's unusual. I don't think that's Mr. Kale's typical practice, but people can miss things. That happens. And I know it's not a lot of comfort to you when you're the one who, was expecting to
Spent
have
3
a
days in
lawyer.
jail for nothing. Yeah, that's what I'm upset about.
But here's where we're going from here. I mean, obviously your case is heading to trial. Mr. Kale knows that. He said he thinks he can be ready to try your case for you starting on, it's April 29th. So there's actually a couple of months. And you haven't had a meeting before now. So, maybe it's not appropriate at this point to say that you can't have a constructive attorney-client relationship. Might be appropriate to say that things didn't get off on their best foot, but, like I said, mistakes can get made and, we'll evaluate them in context. If we were a week before trial, I'd be upset about it. We're 2 months before trial. A missed appointment is a missed appointment.
And a not returned email, I want to add, because I did what I was told to do by the court paperwork I got
Gotcha.
last time. Said to
Nobody's
call
putting
and
any of
email,
this on you.
and I did.
No, nobody's putting any of this on you. So my inclination here would be to say, okay, let's go from here. You and Mr. Kale do your best. You know, you're gonna need to have at least a meeting with him, and you probably get that set up today. And you know, figure out how the trial strategy is gonna go and get everybody, you know, prepared for trial. And if that doesn't work out,
I'll hire an attorney myself. If we're going to trial, I'm gonna spend the money because the money is there. And if my wife doesn't like that, then oh well, you know, that's where we're at with this.
Right now, this isn't about her. This is about
Sure
you.
it is.
This is about your decision to go to trial. So let's keep this in place as Mr. Kale's case. And if you have a problem with them, going, not now, I mean, not for missing an earlier contact, we're going to set that aside.
True.
Going forward from now, right, then you let us know and we'll make a decision
Yes,
as to
Your Honor.
whether somebody else should be your lawyer. Now, you're free to hire a lawyer if you want to. If you
Yes,
do that, then
I will be doing that. If that's what we have to do, if we're going to trial, then I will be retaining paid counsel. And I will be retaining paid counsel.
All right, well,
For
if
sure.
you do, we know how to handle that.
For
You're
sure.
a new attorney.
Yeah, I know, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else I need to address today?
Your Honor, defense would be renewing the motion to rescind the no contact order based on Ms. Hastings, the complaining witnesses motion to modify or rescind the order that was filed on January 22nd. I had a brief conversation with Ms. Hastings in the room outside of the courtroom. She tells me that there was no, essentially the conduct that's alleged to have occurred. She denies that anything of that nature happened. She denies that there was any physical contact between her and Mr. Hastings in the and Ms. Hastings is here today. When I spoke with her, she also expressed to me that she wanted this no contact order rescinded. And so we're asking the court to rescind this no contact order today, Your Honor.
Judge Wilcox did rule on that originally when it was filed, and she heard it on January 31st. But I know Ms. Hastings here, but I don't know what she wants. I mean, she hasn't spoken for herself, or no one has on her behalf. So at this point, I'm turning to you, Mr. Eastwood. If the state or if anyone on Ms. Hastings' behalf wants to address the court, they can. Well, let me start with Mr. Eastwood. We'll go from there.
Your Honor, the state is troubled by this case. We understand that Ms. Hastings is not wanting to proceed. She's not willing to participate in trial. I think that puts the state in a position where we don't have many options. However, for the court's information, for defense's information, defendant made a request to have Ms. Cervantes removed from the court. The court addressed that. The basis, I believe, for that request is that Ms. Cervantes relayed to me that she had just heard the defendant violate the no contact order by talking to Ms. Hastings, telling her to go speak with Mr. Kale. That's troubling. I think the state is in a position where at this point we would have to dismiss based on Ms. Hastings not being willing to participate.
We're allowed to talk and text each other.
Yeah, Ms. Hastings, hold on just a second, okay? Let Mr. Eastwood finish and we'll go from there, okay? But, well, obviously, that's your decision, Mr. Eastwood, whichever, if you want to dismiss the charge, that's certainly your right as the prosecutor, or alternatively to proceed to trial.
Well, Your Honor, given that the state is not of the opinion that without Ms. Hastings' testimony, that we could make the case at trial. And I think we have discussed the matter with Ms. Haston at some length. Do not believe that she is likely to change her position on this despite many conversations. So the state at this point would be moving to dismiss without prejudice, with the option to refile if anything further happens, and with notice to defense that things will be watched carefully and closely.
Yes, that. Okay, Mr. Haston,
Sure.
as I said before, it's the prosecutor's decision whether to file charges. It's also the prosecutor's decision whether to dismiss them. And as you heard Mr. Eastwood said, he's asking that the court dismiss the charge, and I will do that. That also means that.
Why didn't I, excuse
that-
me,
well,
why
that
didn't I have a
also
say when
means-
the charges were dismissed against her for doing it to me?
That also means that the order that the court issued limiting contact or not allowing contact, that's also going to go away. All right, I've signed the order dismissing the case, and in a moment I'll sign an order rescinding the no contact order. Now, this doesn't affect any other orders that may be in place, just the order in this criminal case. We'll get you copies of all the paperwork here in just a second, Mr. Haston.
Here's the dismissal order, and once we get the.
The other one's the one I'm worried about. I don't know.
Exactly, that's the one that you're.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll have that ready for you in just a few minutes.
thank you. Ron.
Yes, Your Honor, this is Chase Brandon.
If you come see me again, I want you to bring.
Hey everybody, I'm gonna jump in and thank everybody for coming out. Critics and Mikey's in the room. We got Steve Bennett, Micah Psycho, Legal Fiction, of course, was at the beginning. Monica, Vince. If I missed you, just call me old. Just say that I didn't pay attention and I missed it. But I'm definitely seeing people and definitely excited to see you here. Thank you for being here. Yep, Thomas Reed, He Stopped Loving Her Today by George Jones. That's a good sounding one for that case. That guy was just an ass. I think he does that with everybody in his life, and people just deal with him just to get him moving on. But that's just how he is. So this is an older Judge Oakley one. It's a good one. It's pretty quick. It's about 15 minutes. He talks to a kid and gives him some good advice. Like I mentioned before, I'm going through the videos I deleted, and some of these ones I just don't want to let go just yet. So I wanted to throw them back up on there. So we're going to get to Judge Oakley, and then we got a good old one from George Fleischer. So we're going to go to Oakley now.
Girlfriend, so I can convince her to dump your sorry ass. Okay? She's got self-esteem issues if she's putting up with a guy that's not got anything better than you going on.
For the record, Jeffrey Bowers appearing on behalf of and with Mr. Jackson, who's approaching.
Good morning.
Sir, could you tell the judge your name for the record, please?
How you doing, Your Honor? I'm Jakari
Excellent.
Jackson.
Your Honor, today's date and time set for arraignment in this matter. We will waive the formal reading and stand mute. We've also had a chance to pre-try this case, Your Honor. In this matter, we have an executed plea agreement subject to court approval in which Mr. Jackson would be pleading to 2 counts of no operator's license on the person with the understanding the 2 original charges would be dismiss.
And we've already got $300 worth of your bond money, right?
Yes.
All right. Did you discuss your rights and options with Mr. Bowditch?
Yes.
Did you understand those rights and options?
Yes.
You understand the possible penalty for these charges?
Yes.
Understanding all of this, are you pleading guilty to these charges freely and voluntarily today?
Yes.
All right, I got a July 31, 23 and a November 3, 23. On those two dates, were you driving vehicles in Van Buren Township?
Yes.
All right, and at that time, on each of those dates, was your license suspended, revoked, or denied?
Yes.
Mr. Bowditch, are you satisfied?
I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
So am I. I will dismiss the original charges of DWLS. What should I know about Mr. Jackson?
Well, Your Honor, misspent youth. Picked up some tickets. He got together with his father, who accompanies him today. They've been.
Dad, where you at? Thank you. Go
They've
ahead.
been to all these different jurisdictions. They have not completed the process, but they have started all the processes. No more warrants or anything. Mr. Jackson finally has plans. He's going to go to a trade school.
Good.
And hopefully enter the electrical.
Good. Good. Where'd you go to high school? Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Belleville High School, Your Honor.
Okay. You don't have to get that close. It's a good mic. And when did you graduate?
I didn't.
Don't do that. Stand up straight and just speak to me.
It'll pick it
All
up.
right? It'll pick you up. When did you graduate?
I didn't.
When did you quit? What grade were you in?
10th grade.
All right. How long has it been since you were in school?
3-4 years.
Okay. So what are you, about 22?
21.
21.
He's working on his GED as we speak.
Good. Where at?
Again, with his help of his father.
Where at? Where are you doing that at?
Job Corps. The Job Corps facility.
Good. Okay. All right. Do you know how much money you already owe us?
About $2,000 something.
$2,596 before today. You aren't a good enough driver to be driving. You can't afford it. And it's not just the suspended, because every time you got pulled over and got a suspended driving ticket, you did something wrong that got you pulled over, right?
Mm.
Are you working?
No.
How many other courts do you have to go to get things fixed?
Just this one.
This is your last stop? Did you ever have a valid license? I mean, did you ever have your driver's license and then they took it away, or you never even had one?
Yeah, I had one.
Okay. When's the last time you had a job?
About 3 weeks ago.
Where at?
For JB Hunt.
How long did that last?
It was a temporary, so not that long.
So where's this program you're going to get into a trade school?
In Detroit, Michigan.
Who's it with?
I'm not too sure, but it's the facility for Job Corps.
Okay. Okay. You still living with that?
No.
Who you live with?
My girlfriend. My girlfriend.
So she's paying your bills? Who's paying your bills?
Me.
With what? You're not working.
I'm mainly paying it till I get stuff figured out. So she's not doing stuff for me. I'm just doing it for myself.
How? You got no job. How are you feeding yourself? How are you feeding yourself?
I'm not.
You must be feeding yourself because you ain't dead. Somebody's feeding you, somebody's clothing you. Who's doing that?
Me, Your Honor.
And once again, how? Are you doing things to earn money that aren't legal and you don't want to talk about it?
No.
Then where are you getting your money that's feeding you?
Sometimes it'll be jobs coming in and out, and then I use that to feed me or clothe me.
If you come see me again, I want you to bring your girlfriend so I can convince her to dump your sorry ass. Okay? She's got self-esteem issues if she's putting up with a guy that's not got anything better than you going on. You have got to make some serious changes in your life. I've been doing this a long time, and I consider myself to be a student of human nature. And what I have determined is people that need to make major changes have to make major changes. And what I mean by that is you need to shake up your entire environment. I'm going to suggest to you that the best thing you could ever do for yourself as soon as you get your GED is see if anybody in the U.S. Armed Forces will take your sorry ass. And get out of your current environment and go do something with your life. Scary thought, isn't it? I'm telling you, brother, you got to shake things up. Have you been paying his fines and costs?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson, could you rise and tell the court your name? Thank you, sir. Just for the record.
You've probably wanted to strangle him for years. Brother, I wish you would have seen me before you were 19, because then I had a program for you. I'm going to give you a gift. I'm going to give you a way to close these out and not give me a dollar. You're going to have to work. I'll let you do community service for all of the $2,600 you currently owe us and the 2 new files. So it doesn't cost you a dollar. Well, it doesn't cost him a dollar. But I'm requiring, I'm going to put you on probation. I'm going to require you to do, well, I was going to say 2 things, 3 things. Number 1, no more legal problems. Number 2, do community service at least 20 hours a week. And number 3, get yourself a legitimate job, even when you hate, and start working at least 20 hours a week. Are you as healthy as you look?
Yes.
Okay, listen to me, brother. At this stage in your life, you should be working 60-hour a week minimum. Minimum. So you don't have to work hard when you're old and wore out like me. Has there ever been a time in your life when you worked a 50-hour week?
Yes, but it was
When?
a while.
Yeah, I'm telling you, trust me, I consider 50 hours to be part-time for a guy your age if you're healthy. And I know I did it, okay? I put myself through 7 years of higher education working construction. And you know what? I still found time to go out on Friday night. Because when you're 21, you can work a 15-hour day, go party, get 2 hours of sleep, and get up the next day and do it again. You can do that when you're 21. You can't do it when you're 45. And my experience has been guys that just play in their 20s, either A, their life sucks when they're 40, or they're working too damn hard when they're in their 40s because they didn't put the sacrifice in when they should have. I hope you're hearing my heart. I'm not trying to make you feel bad about where you're at. I'm trying to make you feel motivated to get out of where you're at. Because it's possible. Even if you blew high school, it's still possible. Oh, one more thing I'm going to order. When do you think you're going to have your GED? Any idea?
Probably in the next month.
Okay, so the other thing I'm gonna order is I'm gonna order you to go over on Ford Road, where in that one building, you can sit down and talk to a recruiter from the Coast Guard, from the Navy, from the Air Force, from the Army, from the Marines. They're all in one building. Talk to them. Find out if anybody wants you. Because seriously, that'll shake your world up. That gets you completely out of this area, takes you somewhere new. Well, they pay you, by the way. Okay, they'll train you to do things that you can take into the real world after you get out and make that a career. Think about that. I'm not going to order you to join the military, but I am going to order you to go talk to the recruiters just to find out what the options are. All right?
Yes.
Okay, now I got to put all that on paper.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to put you on a 12-month non-reporting probation. I'm assuming this bond money is yours? Thank you, Dad.
Thank you.
Dad, we keep 10%, but I'm going to give you the rest back. How long, realistically, how long do you think it's going to take you to find a real job where you can work at least 20 hours a week? And be careful, because I know.
Not that long.
Can you do it in 2 weeks?
Yes.
Good answer. Actually, I'm going to change this. I'm going to put you on a reporting probation. I'm not going to charge anything for it, but I'm going to put you on a reporting probation because I want one of my probation officers following up on making sure you're doing this. So you're going to have to report to them, show them, here's 20 hours community service. Here's 20 hours pay stub. Got it? All right, so when you leave here, you're going to go downstairs. Avery here today? Did you see Avery? Yeah, Avery. Hit the okay on the screen behind you. You're going to go downstairs and you're going to find Mr. Taylor, Avery Taylor, and you're going to tell him that you owe me a buttload of community service, and he's going to help you put a plan together to start doing that 20 hours a week. Okay, we got a plan?
Yes.
Now hear my heart. I would love you to come back and see me on a regular basis, tell me what's going on, ask me for advice. I love to tell people what to do. All right, so I would love to coach you along. And I also do this. I will promise you this. If you've got a driver's license, once you get this all straight, if you've got a driver's license and you've been doing the things I've been telling you to do, I will find you a job. All right. Yes. I know people, if you'll work, I know people that are always looking for young, healthy guys that are willing to work hard. All right.
Yes.
I'd rather go wave goodbye when you get on a bus to go to boot somewhere because you signed in the military, but I'll help you find a job.
Yes. Thank you.
Got a deal.
Judge Oakley is one of my favorites. I like the way he does that there.
If you come see me again, I want you to bring your girlfriend so I can convince her to dump your sorry ass.
Here's for one of my favorite Judge Fleischer ones, just for Victoria.
Okay, good. I'm so confused right now.
Really?
Yes, sir. Can I please explain?
Confused, Mr.
Okay.
Mireles.
Yes, very much so. Because whenever I left here, I went downstairs and I thought the ankle monitor would be put onto me downstairs. Nothing was put onto me, but the hair center showed up. I went directly from here into custody with the Harris Center, and I've been at the Harris Center. On the 13th, I was still at the Harris Center, apparently when the warrant went in for my arrest, and I was still with the Harris Center. I got released from the Harris Center because I found housing. I've left the Harris Center, and then I got picked up on the street because I got a little kitten for my PTSD. She went in between a fence. I had to go over the fence to get her. When I got her back into her kennel, and I had my kennel with me when the officers was checking me. I had no drugs, no nothing. And then they said I had a warrant, and I was very confused because I haven't done anything. And at the Harris Center, I was with them the entire time. I told them about the ankle monitor to please check on it, and they said they would get a hold of me, and if there was, they would set me an appointment to go get it. Nothing was ever done. And if you could please call the Harris Center, they'll tell you what I'm telling you is the truth. I haven't done anything.
I got a different report.
From who? From the Harris Center?
Did we not, Lori?
We did.
Okay. You know that you're telling me something over here.
I promise that's exactly what happened.
I got information from the Harris Center themselves that says it's over here.
What? What did they
You
say?
didn't go turn yourself in. That you didn't go do what you're supposed to do.
I did. I was at the Harris Center. I've been at there. I was at the Harris Center.
You can contact to see if the Harris.
Please, yes. April is my care worker. April's my care worker. She'll know.
Hold on. Hold on.
I don't understand how that's possible.
I don't want to keep you in jail for the sake of keeping you.
No, I know, sir. I've been doing good. I've been doing everything. I've been trying to make you proud. I did what you said.
See,
I promise.
you're going to reach out to the Harris
Okay,
Center.
I promise. I swear.
Verify.
April knows who I am. She's my care provider. I have all my paperwork. I have everything.
Okay, hold on a second. So
Thank you.
I'm gonna have him back for a second. Take your time. There's
Okay.
no rush. Deputy Bo, do you mind? We're gonna check now, Mr. Mireles.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
I'll bring you back out when we have a result. Of course.
No.
I don't either.
But the thing is, Judge, I'm feeling that it's a felony trespass only because it was during a state of emergency, so it was made a felony. I didn't know that that's how that worked. And then the others, the PCS you picked up with the DWI.
Let's bring her out and then I'll bring her out next and then we'll figure out. Okay, Mr. Mireles. So when you get there, what's the situation when you get there? You're housed and you stay there, correct?
When you get there, they only have, where I was, jail diversion is about 14 days at the most. If you're active and you're searching, which I was, if they see that you are actively searching and doing what you're supposed to be doing, they can help you if they don't find housing for you in between those 2 days. I was managed to find housing, so they gave me my discharge paper and I was able to leave to go to my housing, which is temporary.
Therein lies the problem. You're supposed to stay. You're not.
They tell them when they can leave.
Yeah, they discharge you.
They discharge you from the Harris Center. He got discharged because he got housing.
Yeah, and then I got housing, so I went to my housing. I might have lost my housing now because of this misunderstanding, but I can go back to the Harris Center and have them re-help me again to get back, because it's a volunteer.
The housing that you're going to.
The housing that I was at was in the Heights, and it's
Living with who?
I stayed with my younger sister first. She's pregnant, but it's not with her anymore. I was going to be staying with the what is it called? I forgot what it's called.
So the housing you basically get to choose. Is that what you're telling me?
No, sir. You have to apply to them, and it's called Magnificat. Magnificat is who I was going to be staying with. It's called Magnificat Housing, and they only provide you for 8 days because this is a transitional housing. This is to get you into a place as best as they can. It's not permanent, but it's transitional. You go with them, you stay with them, and you get you hopefully into something in between to be
So
permanent.
where's the long term?
They don't do permanent at the center. If you want to get permanent housing, you just have to hopefully keep staying with.
It's going to happen after 8 days. Happen after 8 days.
You pretty much as long as you keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, you can stay with them. And that's what I was doing. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as long as they show that you're out looking for jobs, you're out looking for housing, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, not just abusing the free housing, then they'll work with you to get you into another one as fast as possible or to stay with them longer because they don't like it's.
Am I able to verify that you're actually staying at a place?
I can keep in touch.
I'm not going
with
to take
you.
your word for it.
I
So
can
I
keep in
need to
touch.
actually speak to someone.
Huh?
I need to speak to someone to know what you're doing, where you are. I'm not going to take your word for it.
I can keep in touch with you. I can just have someone from the hair center. His name is Greg. Greg is who's helping me get my housing. He can keep in touch with you. I can give him your number, or we can have
His
everything.
phone number.
Everything I have is in my paperwork, and they took everything. When they arrested me, they took everything away from me. I had nothing. I couldn't get anything. The only thing I had was my little cat that they took from me.
Don't worry about a cat at this moment.
Oh, she's in my
But
PTSD.
yourself
Yeah.
first.
Well, she was recommended. I got her because I have bad PTSD. So they recommended I go get a PTSD animal, and I got him.
Are you telling me that where you're going to go for 8 days, they're going to let you have a cat?
Yeah. Yes, it was their idea. It was their idea to get a PTSD animal because I have very bad PTSD. So I went and I adopted a little kitten, and he helps me a lot. He's a reason to stay in good shape, to get everything together. He's beautiful.
I commend you. I just want to know.
It means a lot to us. I mean, he's very beautiful. You should see him. He's like my everything, and they took him away from me. That's the only reason I want to get back out there right now. He's at the SPCA, and I don't know why they took him from me.
I understand.
He's really beautiful. He's a little gray kitten. He's awesome. His name is Green Beans. I promise I was making you proud. I was doing everything to make you proud. And I had to get back out there to get him. And I want to get back into housing. It's tearing me apart to know that they just ripped him from my hands like they did. And I was doing everything that I was supposed to do. I don't want to lose him.
All I want to do is just verify what you're telling me.
I promise. I can. When I get to the center, I can have, because that's the only place I can go. I have to go back to the center because I can't lose my housing. I can go back to the center, and I can have April call you immediately and get in touch with you. She was actually.
See, Mr. Mireles, listen. I want them to contact Lori.
Okay.
As long as we can verify you're doing, know where you are, where you're staying, and that you're not out on the street, I'm happy.
Okay.
All I want to know is that you're not on the street.
No, I'm not. I'm not on the street at all.
I know you're going to tell me no. I know you're going to tell me little bunnies jumping in the woods.
No.
But it's not. I've been through this before.
And they can verify I'm not, because the second that I am on the street, I go straight to the hair center. I don't want to be on the street. The hair center is amazing. It gives me great food, housing, everything. And the whole point of them is to get out of homelessness. That's why I'm doing this.
That's
I
why
can't be on the street.
have you here? Because from what I understand, you took off, and that's not what I want to happen. I want you to stay in touch with Lori.
Okay. I can only do so much. My cell phone got stolen literally just.
You're not listening.
Okay.
Stop and listen.
Okay.
I want you to stay in touch with Lori.
Okay.
And I want Greg to be able to verify with her where you are at all times.
Okay.
If in 8 days I don't hear anything, because I'm writing everything down that you're telling me.
Yes, sir.
In 8 days I don't hear anything, a warrant will issue. I'm not going to play this game with you again.
Yes, sir. I understand. Okay.
Before you leave the jail, you will have an ankle monitor on you.
Okay. That's fine.
You must stay in touch with Lori.
I will. Yes, sir.
This is it.
Okay.
So redo the PTI to release to the hair center again?
Release to the hair center, same gig as last time.
Okay.
No release on his own to the hair center with a GPS.
Okay.
All right.
Pre-trial
Hey.
about?
Make me proud.
I am. I promise.
See it. Go get your kitty and make me proud. Oh. Wow. I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. Wow. Yes. I'm so happy to see you. Wow. Did you get your kitten back?
No, I gotta get I'm gonna go get her after that. I'm gonna get him after this Green Bean.
Get your kitten. I'm so happy to see you. I'm really this is just wonderful.
Yeah, I
So just You're doing great, man. Really.
Yeah, I just got to Magnificat this morning and they let me come here and I gotta go straight back over there to get my house.
And I got a cue card for you to give me some money.
Hey,
Oh, thank you.
I'm so happy to see you. I'm just really, really, this is great.
Judge, what we wanted to do is to see if we could
can
just
do it.
like reset him.
I don't care what you do. I
You
don't
wanna
care.
take a drug test today?
Yes,
And
that's the
then-
only thing I would like to do.
And then you wanna reset him, but since he doesn't have a phone, his phone situation is
Okay.
off, like, how many weeks do you wanna reset him?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
I don't care. Just, you're doing great, man. Just keep it up, stay with Lori, and good things are gonna happen for you.
Right, thank
Okay? Good job.
Go have a seat. It's gonna be ready.
Wow.
Sometimes just having someone to believe in you is enough to take the next step in life. All right, everybody. I like that one. That was a good little heart setter. The next one is Judge Rosie. I like Judge Rosie, but it's hard to get a good hearing out of her. The sound's horrible over there, and she's got a chaotic courtroom sometimes. Just a lot of people going in and out. But here's one of Judge Rosie that I really like. Here you go.
State of Texas versus Mr. Nicholas Whitehead. Mr. Whitehead, you're on live. Can you hear us?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you given your attorney, Mr. Leslie Sahanovich, and this court permission to go forward with your proceeding via video conference, also known as a Zoom app?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Please stand by. Can I get announcements from the attorneys for and on the record?
Rick Pena for the state of Texas.
Leslie Sahanovich for Mr. Whitehead.
All right, Mr. Whitehead, your attorney filed a motion to modify bond restrictions back on the 2nd of January. He will make argument first, present evidence, do what he feels is appropriate and necessary under the rules to move the court to grant your motion to lift these bond restrictions. Before I can consider that motion at any level, I need to allow the state to address the court on any added information or concerns they may have regarding the motion. So once I hear from both sides, Mr. Whitehead, then the court will decide how to proceed with your motion. With that, Mr. Sahanovich, the floor is yours.
Yes, Judge, Your Honor, I'd like to first call, I think Laura the King is on, should be on Zoom. Let's see, make sure she's on here.
Yes.
Okay, let's bring her in.
I'd like to call her as a witness, first of all. Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Is she on?
She's connecting, Your Honor. Audio is not connected. Hold on. Your audio is not connected, Miss King, the King?
Mr. King, can you say something? She can't hear us, Leslie.
Oh.
You want me to, oh, there she goes. She has it.
All right,
Yeah.
we need you to unmute yourself, Mr. King.
There.
Mr. King, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, you're on live. And so I need to swear you in. So please raise your right hand.
Okay.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury should you make a false statement or lie to the court?
I do.
You may put your hand down, Mr. King. Mr. King, you're going to be asked questions by Mr. Sahanovich and probably Mr. Pena. I need you to listen to the questions that are being asked and answer the question asked only. If you cannot hear the question, if you cannot understand the question, if you need the question repeated for any reason, just let us know so that the attorneys can accommodate you. If you need a break, let us know. If you hear any of the attorneys state objection, stop your answer. I'll need to deal with the objection and then I'll direct you as to whether to answer the question asked or wait for the next question. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sahanovich. The witness is yours.
Okay. Ma'am, could you please identify yourself for the record?
Laura DeKing.
Okay. And the King, how are you the complaining witness in this case?
Yes.
Okay. And are you coming forward? Sorry, have you communicated with Mr. Pena and myself regarding your wish is to change the protective order from no contact to no harmful or injurious contact?
Yes.
Did you communicate with Mr. Pena directly?
I sent him an email. I sent him that, but he never responded.
Okay. And then, so what your wishes today are to do what?
To remove the protective order.
Okay, in terms of not remove the protective order, but change the protective order from no contact to no harmful or injurious contact, correct? Okay.
Yes.
And do you are you comfortable with going forward and seeking that?
Yes.
Okay. Has Mr. Whitehead at any point in time tried to influence you to make that change, or is that one from your own volition?
No.
Okay, so it's one of your own volition?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness.
I have questions. Mr. King, how are you related to Mr. Whitehead?
He's my fiance.
Okay. And do you have any children with him?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. How long have you been engaged?
We've been engaged for over a year.
Okay. And on the evening of the alleged incident, who called the police?
I had my son call.
How old is your son?
He's 9.
And is that because your son was present?
No, he was in the room. He was in the other room. I just told him to call.
So the answer is yes. Okay. So you had a 9-year-old present in the residence at the alleged incident, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you're not married to the defendant, correct?
Correct.
And you don't have any children with him, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. State, any questions?
Yes, Your Honor, just a few.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. King.
Good afternoon.
On the night of this incident, this happened just before Thanksgiving, correct?
Yes.
And at the time, you, the defendant, Mr. Whitehead, and your 2 children were living together at the residence, correct?
Yes.
And the ages of your 2 children that we've established are one of them is 9-year-old and the other one is 6. Is that correct?
Yes.
And those were their ages at the time of the incident, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
At the time of the incident, my son was 5.
Okay, so at the time of the incident, your youngest son was 5. Okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
Where was the 5-year-old when this incident took place, ma'am?
I'm sorry?
On the night of this incident, your 5-year-old child, where was he when this incident took place?
In his room.
He was in his room. Was he around the situation at all to hear anything?
No.
Okay. Now, the defendant at the time, isn't it true that when you spoke with the police, you mentioned to him that you had concerns of his alcohol use? Is that correct?
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding the question.
I'll rephrase the question.
Hold on. Did you tell the police you had concerns about Mr. Whitehead's drinking?
The night, yes.
Okay, that's a yes, Mr. Pena. Anything else?
Just a couple quick more questions, Ron, I guess. Has the defendant in the past been violent towards you, either because of alcohol use or not because of alcohol use?
No.
Okay. Has he ever shown any type of aggression toward your children?
No.
Since this incident has taken place, has Mr. Whitehead had any contact with you or your children?
No.
Do you know where Mr. Whitehead is currently residing?
No.
Is he residing with you?
No. He's not here.
Okay, all right. And last question, the night of the incident, you instructed your 9-year-old son to call the police as a result of what Mr. Whitehead did, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
I have something I want each of them to do. Mr. Whitehead, I need you to step outside of wherever you're at and show me the number of either the apartment or the residence where you're at. And I need you to do the same, Ms. DeKing.
Okay.
Okay, stay right there, Mr. King.
Okay.
Yeah, if I may, Your Honor, I'm not sure the defendant understood your instruction. Looks like maybe he did. Oh, there he is. Never mind.
All right. Mr. Whitehead, can you stand in front of the door of wherever you are at now so I can see an address? Okay, thank you. Mr. Sahanovich, any other questions?
No other questions, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll entertain closing arguments from Mr. Sahanovich and Mr. Ben. Do you have any other witnesses, Mr. Sahanovich?
No, I have no other witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay. State, do you have any witnesses to call?
I do want to call Mr. King back for a rebuttal question.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Benya.
Just one more question, Mr. King, I didn't mention to ask. If this no contact order is lifted and changed to no harmful or injurious contact, do you have any fear for your safety?
No.
Do you have any fear for your children's safety?
No, sir.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Okay, and I have a question of the state. Is this, is Mr. Whitehead, is this a first time arrestee of family violence?
Let me double check, Your Honor. Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I don't know if your attorney has told you, Mr. Whitehead, you qualify to get your case dismissed and expunged, but you would have to do a special program called Reflejo Court. I'm just informing you of that fact. And it's throughout that program that we facilitate family reunification as well. Something for you to consider when conferring with your attorney. So that is available to you, sir. This type of criminal record can impact you for the rest of your life. It can affect your employment opportunities, your educational opportunities.
Did we lose him?
Yes.
We did. Leslie, can you proceed without him?
Yeah, I can proceed with that.
Okay. All right. I'll hear from Mr. Sahanovich next in the closing argument, and then I'll proceed, and then Mr. Benya, and then the court will rule.
Your Honor, I don't have any other witnesses to present or any rebuttal or any other questions for this witness. So I'd ask this witness to be, I guess, taken off the stand, but not excused, of course.
Okay. Mr. King, you're welcome to stay. The questioning has ceased. Okay, you're off the quote unquote witness stand. All right.
All right. Thank you.
You can mute yourself, Mr. King. Okay, Mr. Sahanovich, you may proceed.
Okay, Your Honor, I just have a closing argument.
Okay.
My closing argument, Your Honor, is that the witness has presented herself to the court. She has admitted through her testimony with Mr. Pena that Mr. Whitehead has never in the past, and she does not consider him to be a threat to herself or her children, and that she has voluntarily asked to have this modification done through. I mean, my client has made the request, but she's voluntarily showed up today to testify, to present herself to the court, saying that she's doing it freely and voluntarily. And for those reasons, Your Honor, I'd ask the court to change the protective order from no harmful or injurious contact to no contact.
State.
Your Honor, I'm in agreement. The witness testified that she has no concerns about her safety, her children's safety. If the order is lifted, and this incident apparently has never happened before, I'm in agreement for having the order changed from no contact, no harmful or injurious contact.
Let me just say this, and I'm going to make a record of this. I don't agree with the state's position on this. The court is very sensitive to the fact that there was a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old in the home experiencing this incident, whether they witnessed it or heard it. That alone is enough to change their brain chemistry, and the science will show that. And this is a science-based, science-driven judge and court. This couple is not married. This couple has no children together. And I'm completely baffled at the state's position on this. I just don't understand it. But you know what? That's not my role. I'm going to grant Mr. Sahanovich's motion against the court's better judgment. Evidently, the state doesn't care about the welfare of children in these homes. And the state has a hand in perpetuating generational trauma. I've made a record of it. Do with it what you want. This matter is concluded. I'll go ahead and send the order out to the attorneys.
Case People versus Daryl Jarrell. Miss Perny is so happy to see you.
I am very happy to see you. Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Jarrell. Please state your name.
Gerald.
Okay. And where are we on his case?
Your Honor, we have not had contact practice today. I think the number we have for you may not.
I don't have a phone. So whoever gave you a number, it was invalid.
Okay, so I'll need to figure out a way to get in touch with him so we can go over the case together.
So are there two separate? Got it.
If I give you my number.
What is?
You have a PO box?
I don't have a phone. I have Alana Center. Use a PO box, I think.
Okay. Do you have an email address?
No. I'm on his radar. Use electronics.
All right. So you guys are gonna be trying to figure out a way to get to make contact with each other, right? So.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, the reason I say that is let me just do this. Let me give you a little bit of time so that I'm gonna adjourn this out to September 4th, 2024, 9 a.m.
What's the holdup? It's trespassing.
Pardon?
I don't understand what the holdup is. It's trespassing.
What do you mean what the holdup is?
This is it's an arraignment, right? Or a preliminary exam?
No. You're not charged with a felony, so it's not a preliminary examination.
Right.
You were arraigned in this on July 24th. They set this date. Your attorney hasn't been able to talk to you about the cases at all.
Okay.
So I'm trying to I can set it for 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
But the problem.
I'm tired of the state. I'm ready to leave this state as soon as possible. It's trespassing. I could technically leave and you guys could issue a warrant as long as I don't return. You can kiss my ass. This is.
You know what? No. I'm gonna tell you what. You don't come in here. You don't.
Fuck you.
Okay. That's contempt. That's 93. Keep going.
Fuck you.
That's another
Fuck you
93.
again.
That's another 93.
Fucking game.
That's another 93. That's another 93. That's 6 93s consecutive. Those case People versus Keith Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins does not want to. He does not want to unmute. He does.
I had a lot to write down on that. I just seen. How you doing, Your Honor? How you doing, sir? Oh man,
I'm doing great.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins, can you please state your full name for the record?
Yes, Keith Bernard Jenkins Jr.
You're all right, Mr. Jenkins. None of that bothered me. That guy, I don't know what his problem was. Don't worry about it. Jenkins really did not want to hit he's like, he wanted to black his screen and pretend like he wasn't here. All right.
We are just respectfully requesting adjournment in this matter, Your Honor. There is an offer in this file, which I have discussed with Mr. Jenkins. We're just requesting a brief adjournment to look at the video discovery. And I will say also for the record that Mr. Jenkins is obscenely professional whenever I've talked with him. So I don't.
Really?
And Mr. Jenkins was worried, but nothing to worry about, Mr. Jenkins. You're okay.
Okay, yeah. And I'm
Why, he didn't have anything to say to me?
He did
no,
not.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know. People just kept talking to me. It just turns out bad for them. All right, let's. How much time are you guys gonna need to try to get through what you gotta get through?
Just 2 to 3 weeks, Your Honor.
August 21st, 2024.
okay. All right. And one question, if I could ask. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because it happened. What I don't want is I would like to be able, like, after everything is clear, would that affect any of my is to be able to get in the field of like enforcement, law enforcement? Like, would it be on my record? I don't want.
I got you. You know what? Hang on a second. I'm going to adjourn it to September. No, hold on. I'm going to adjourn it to September 4th because it sounds like you got to go through the evidence. You got a lot of questions and talk in more detail with your attorney about that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. September 4th, 2024, 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Jenkins. You can log off now and we'll be in touch, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Hey, Nan and Mary, how are y'all doing? Good to see y'all there at Pokeroo. I guess I got to say Linus every time because your name is neat. Hi, Linus. The next one coming up is that Corey guy, the guy that got Judge Simpson viral a few months ago with his driver's license thing. There's a follow-up to that. So if you folks hadn't seen that, that's what's coming up. And then after that, we're going to get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I'll say bye at the end, but we're going to go see some more Corey guy, see if he ever got his license.
Court calls the case, People versus Corey Harris.
Conrad Sewell on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
May it please this honorable court, Deion Webster Cox, on behalf of Corey Harris.
All right, Victoria. All right, you got your attention. I'm trying to learn this YouTube thing. So hi, Victoria. And you had a birthday wish in there too. Let me see if I can go back and find your birthday wish. I believe his name was Harry. I can't remember. Harry Sachs. Happy birthday, Harry Sachs. That's Legal Fiction's real name, ain't it? Happy birthday, Legal Fiction. All right, we're gonna go back to it.
And we have good news.
All right, yeah, I know. Go ahead, I'll let you say it.
My client has his license, Your Honor.
Fine. He's had it for a while.
Yes, and see, what do? We moved forward, focused on the positive, and now here we are. We can proudly stand before this court and say, we did it, okay? We did.
Yes, he did.
Yes, we all did. It was a collaborative effort. So
24 years late, but we did it.
We did it.
We got there.
We're here.
Congratulations, Mr. Harris.
Thank you. Better late than never.
That's right.
Wasn't I saying that at the beginning? I was.
Absolutely.
That's all I wanted. I told you that from the very beginning, Mr. Harris. All I wanted you to get your license.
Exactly.
And
thank you.
I just wish it could have.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You just helped me out, speed up the process a little bit faster. Thank you.
You were hard-headed though.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you were hard-headed.
My mother and my wife tells me this daily.
That you're hard-headed?
Yes.
Yes. And you showed it to not only me, but the whole world. That you were hard-headed. And all I wanted to do, if you had left that first day, after the first hearing, I revoked your bond, you came here, you followed what I said, and I didn't have, because I didn't really have a problem with you. If after you had left the jail, and if you had just gone to the did what you did, we'd have been done with this so long ago. Really. And ultimately, when it all said and done, that's all I wanted. That is all I wanted. I just needed you to have your license.
Mission accomplished. So.
And it feels good, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels good. You're not looking over your shoulder all the time, right? Exactly. It's amazing how that works. All right. And I did, not that I'm a social media person because I don't watch social media, but I saw him do his little dance out there in front of Secretary of State.
That was after his training, after he passed the test.
After he passed the test.
So we were documenting the process.
And
right?
and as long as, and I knew, so like I said on the record, I kind of said it a little quip and a little snarky and probably shouldn't have said it that way. But I knew if he just passed a written test, the driving thing wasn't going to be a problem. Because he had been doing that for 24 years. So it didn't, he was going to be able to pass that part. All right. So with the newly vamped Mr. Harris.
Yeah, and we're all happy about that, so I will keep my promise, and if he would like to admit double parking today, he can do that, and if you accept it, Your Honor, I move to dismiss the more serious misdemeanor charge.
He will absolutely admit responsibility to double parking on that faithful and sober.
Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris, do you admit responsibility to the fact that on October 7th, 2023, location of Ellsworth Road near Laura Road, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you double parked? Yes.
Satisfied.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Anything you want to say before I impose fines and costs?
Your Honor, my client has, I'm asking that the fines be as much as this court can, because he and his wife are both out of work, and they've been working diligently trying to find work. But it's just things are financially, the margins are, and as a result, we're just asking that court, in addition to what the court has already done, that.
So after all this, you're asking me to do something nice?
I am. You know I'm going to ask. That's what I do.
Oh. Do I do nice things? I don't. No, I don't. Oh, thanks for volunteering that path. Mr. Harris?
Yes, sir.
Throughout this whole thing, outside of the driver's license, everything else, tell me what you learned that you think makes you a better person now.
What I've learned is just pretty much stay focused, stay on task, and do not look back and just go on out here and just handle things right then and there. And then that way, I don't have to worry about anything crazy later. And thank you very, very much for teaching me that hard lesson.
Maybe one day we'll meet out on the street under better circumstances. Just keep your car in the lane. Don't be running into my truck. All right. So
I'm a very good driver.
I know we have 20 some odd years of you doing that. That's actually pretty good. All right. Fines and costs of $180. Mr. Harris, I don't know why I'm doing this. It is absolutely against my better thought, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to waive the entirety of the 180 and fines and costs.
Thank you.
You're all set.
Thank you, Your Honor.
May I shake your hand?
I know, I don't think you can touch them.
Why do you say that?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, you can decide.
All right, you're welcome. Just do the right thing. Take care.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. That's all your people around the courtroom waiting for you? Did they think you were gonna get locked up again? That's your daughter.
That's her daughter. This is my wife.
That's your wife. So she came to make sure you didn't get locked up again. She kept you straight. All right.
Oh, yeah, literally, she keeps me in line.
Okay.
All right, that'll be it for us tonight. Thank you so much for coming out. It's good to see some of these good stories. I'm fighting with YouTube over the money thing right now, so I needed some pick me up stories today. So this was good. Getting to see that handshake was pretty awesome. Thank you folks for coming out. Emmanuel Jeter made the comment, "Don't do the crime if you don't do the time." I'm right there with you. But getting locked up over not having a driver's license, it just feels so dumb. It just feels dumb on it. And he snitched on himself. He did it to himself. And so I don't know. I have an issue with these courts. You get arrested for not having a driver's license and you admit to double parking. I don't like that at all. To me, I don't think you should admit to something you didn't do. So I don't know how they figured it out, but they're the legal ones. I'm not. Thank you all for coming out again. I'm going to get out of here, and y'all have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.